afternoon, everyone. Okay, so we're live. Okay, for Sunday. Okay, and we are discussing the fundamentals of neuro linguistic programming, which is actually our advocacy. Okay, with the NLP group. Okay, and we have here Mr. Luigi Mañoza.
Hi guys, hi everybody. So we think we still have 2 minutes, no, Chris, to wait for them. No, so
Yes. So
siguro
we
meron lang bigoting reminders tayo. Pen and paper guys, tsaka water for the next hour kasi marami tayong pag-uusapan and pretty sure marami kayong may isusulat. So make sure na ready na kayo bago pa tayo mag-start.
so
Ayun lang.
Actually, Luigi, just while we're waiting for
Hmm.
our viewers, okay. So yesterday, kasi, okay, I had this webinar with the group with the MBA students of St.
Hmm.
Paul QC, okay. So meron kasi sa when you're a comres or communication graduate, okay.
Hmm.
So sa communication, 'di ba may levels of communication, and we have intrapersonal, interpersonal,
Hmm.
okay. And then meron tayo yung group communication,
Yep.
public communication, and mass communication.
Hmm.
So, but it starts with intrapersonal. So, I think, okay, with just to relate it, okay, so neuro-linguistic programming, it's actually the intrapersonal side of communication kasi you are what you think, di ba?
Tama, tama.
Yon. So, just,
So, parang yung pinagkukwentuhan din natin kanina, no, yung sa ano, yung sa mga nagtitake ng exams, interviews, it's very important that yung mindset nila at that time is very focused on a certain positive outcome or a positive output. Kasi whatever they're thinking at the moment, most likely, yan yung magmamanifest in a form of their way of thinking, their way of feeling, and their way of acting. And sakto siya na, yes, tama ka, yung NLP is sobrang close to that. Kasi there's a certain way of communication that we do or how we talk to ourselves and other people. That is the key to the result that we have. And now, once we have altered, changed, made better those communications for ourselves or how we communicate with others, definitely our output, okay, or the outcome would also change. So kaya napakalaking bagay, no? Yung paniniwala mo, yung outlook mo. It dictates a lot of things.
yes. So it's
Hmm.
actually like yun. So for HR, so for HR people, you could relate it with mga motivational issues, okay, of
Hmm.
staff, okay? So yun nga, and then nagula. So just so that we have some background kasi we have yung sinasabi natin sa training, soft skills, okay, and
Hmm.
then hard skills, okay. So itong mga pinag-aaralan na nun, they're all skills, but
Yep.
what is soft skills ba? So, soft skills is actually, ito yung mga traits kasi that are present in individuals that make
Hmm.
them successful, okay, in their career, okay, or in whatever undertaking they do. So, that's what you call soft skills, okay.
Hmm.
And then, you have the hard skills. In fact, pag sinabi mong communication, okay, it's both actually a soft skill and a
Yes.
hard skill because
Hmm.
hard skills are skills that you can measure, okay?
Yeah.
And because you can measure them, you can actually train yourself to be
Hmm.
better. Yon. So, yun yung mga hard skills. So, hard skills are, well, it has something to do with yung technical side of communication, like knowing the language, okay? Also knowing some negotiation skills, alam mo yon. So, yon, mga hard skills yon. So, you can train yourself to be better. Pagdating sa soft skills kasi, pagka merong problema doon, kasi ito yung sinasabi nga natin na ugali na or part of behavior ng mga tao, 'di ba?
Hmm.
So, you need a little bit more help. Okay, kasi
Hmm.
deeper yung issue. Okay,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's why there are coaches like you.
Mm. So, tama ka dyan, Chris. Kasi nga, there are a lot of things na hindi natin napapansin na tayo lang. Okay, there's somebody who we need help para ma-point out, especially yung mga blind side natin. Okay, and even the things that we're already aware of na ayaw natin tanggapin, di ba? So, yung mga ganyang bagay, kailangan talaga napaka-importante to sometimes seek help for it. Kasi we can only do so much, see so much, okay, analyze so much. Pero Chris, comment ko lang doon sa sinabi mo kanina about the hard skills that it's important kasi ito yung mga measurable. There's something that I go with. It's like a life quote nito or mantra or whatever. Basta
Mhm.
sobrang relate ako sa belief na to. Whatever can be measured can be increased. This puts value in assessment. Okay? That's where you grow kasi. That's where you see ano yung bottlenecks mo, ano yung pwede mong i-improve, ano yung ginawa mong magaling. Diba? Whatever you've done good, whatever you've done bad, you can actually make it better if you analyze, assess it, if you calculate it. Okay? So, napaka-importanting skill yan sa buhay natin na dapat maging habit natin yung pag-assess sa mga bagay-bagay. Hindi yung pagmasaya, hindi yung magdiretso masaya ka pag may nangyaring maganda, tapos malulungkot ka pag may pangit without even seeing what really happened. Diba?
Yes. Oo nga eh. Yun, so, it's actually so, kasi management actually concept yan, but you can also
Mm,
apply it in your personal life.
tama. Siyempre, yung minamanage mo yung negosyo ng ibang tao, yung ibang tao minamanage mo, bakit yung sarili mo hindi mo i-manage?
Oo
Diba?
naman, di ba?
Sabi nga namin, pag dito sa mga may mga tinrain kaming therapists or coaches, your first client is yourself.
Mhm.
Yun lagi. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Okay, so Luigi, we
Yeah.
have viewers coming in. I
Yep.
think there are two. Okay, so,
Dami na natin. Seven
uh,
na yata ito. Tapos dumadami na sila as we
yeah,
go.
dumadami na sila.
Nagko-comment lang ako kanina bang pag nakatingin ako sa baba, naka-monitor din ako sa natin sa chat. So sabi ko nga guys, if meron kayong tanong, meron kayong mga sharings, just keep it coming in the comment section. I-address namin yan.
Okay, so first things first, okay? So, yeah, so kasi HR shouts, okay?
Hmm.
We're composed of different professionals here, but
Okay.
okay, you and Ken, okay? So you belong to a discipline, okay? Neuro Linguistic Programming. Can you
Yes.
tell us more about what you guys do?
Okay, so what we do, okay, so normally ako I've been coaching yung mga tawag dito, people who are undergoing mental health problems. Okay, for example, this is what I call sadness. SAD, stress, anxiety, and depression. Okay, so yan yung kasi kwento ko na sa'yo, Chris, di ba, meron ako dito isang bagong inaayos na project that would allow me to train people. Or actually, I'll be training, coaching, and tawag dito, doing therapy for free every single day. Okay, yung isang
Mm,
project ko, inaayos ko pa yan. So ngayon, nung inaayos ko yung proposal ko, syempre kailangan ko rin ng mga konting help dito. Look, in-analyze ko talaga, ano ba yung ginagawa ko for the past 5 years? Kasi 5 years ko pa lang ito ginagawa professionally and licensed. So, tinitingnan ko siya. So, ngayon, nakita ko, ito yung mga normaling taong hinahandle ko. May mga problems. Tapos, anong nangyayari afterwards? So, after the coaching, they become uh, grateful with life.
mhm,
Siyempre, napakalaking bagay niyan. Gratefulness can eliminate disappointments. Okay? So, grateful.
mhm.
Siyempre, alive. Isa yan sa mga sobrang advocacy ko to address suicide, especially with the youths. Okay?
Okay.
And then, limitless. So, yung potential nila na-unlock. And lastly, driven. Kasi ako, isa lang ang goal ko sa mga coaching clients ko, whether therapy ba yan or personality development coaching ba yan, scaling in business ba yan, I want them to remember that they need to keep moving forward. Kasi progress is the key to growth. Wala nang iba. So
Mhm.
if you are driven for growth, eventually you're gonna be big at your own time. Okay? So walang stress, walang bigat. But eventually you're gonna grow bigger. So yan yung ginagawa ko. So I just don't, hindi lang mga mental health related yung minahal ko. Also with yung positive side naman, yung pag-enhance sa sarili. That's what I mostly do as a coach or therapist. Pero aside from that, with NLP Hypnosis Academy, nandito rin nagpo-promote din kami ng mga free lessons katulad nito. Meron din doon mga makikita naman kayong paid lessons to yung sinasabi kanina ni Chris na soft and hard skill, makikita nyo doon. Doon kami nakatutok. And also, meron din kami mga hino-host na mga certifications from time to time, local and international. So, you see, NLP Hypnosis Academy is a platform for learning, finding mentors, and finding events or certifications related to NLP, hypnosis, and personality development. So, yeah.
Yun. So, kasi ito ngayon, when you use, okay, so it's NLP, Hypnosis Academy.
Mm.
When you use hypnosis kasi, a lot of people react to that word, okay?
Mm.
So, alam naman natin, I think for
Yes,
the
yes.
past years, di ba, you've been asked a lot of questions,
Mm.
especially with budol-budol ba yun?
Yes, yes.
Mm-mm.
So with
So,
regards to that, medyo close. Close yung process, yung structure. It's close to
mhm,
that. And yes, tama ka, Chris. This is something that we also, isa sa mga una naming mini-make aware, especially with company invitations, school invitations na mga talk. Ito yung mga unang topic namin para at least maliwanagan sila. Kasi talagang pinopromote namin tong alternative way of coaching and therapy with the use of hypnosis and NLP. Kasi dito sa Pilipinas natin, sobrang late na naman tayo. Di ba? Ang dami nating aspeto na sa industriya kung saan tayo na late. Even with alternative therapy. Pag pumunta ka ng UK, pumunta ka ng England, pumunta ka ng US, automatic yan eh. I have some mental health concerns. I have some personality development concerns. Matik
mhm,
yan. Psych, hypnotherapist, or NLP therapist. Meron
mhm.
andun sa choices. Sa Pilipinas, wala. So talagang that's why gigil na gigil kami sa advocacy na maitawag dito, malaman to ng ibang tao na meron na nito dito sa ating bansa. So, yeah.
Well, they don't have to go very far na kasi 'di ba nandito na nga. I,
Oo.
I I met you guys. I met Ken 2017,
Hmm.
okay? And when I met him, I was trying to get his your services actually for the company that I was working
Hmm.
with, okay? And then alam ko that you've been around earlier 2017, maybe
Hmm.
2013, 2014. So,
Mga 13, 12.
yeah. So, ang ano kasi dito is, this concepts kasi, honestly, I've read about it. Bata pa lang ako kasi my grandfather actually is a big fan of yung mga Silva
Oh,
method.
yan. Oo.
Oo. Actually, pinapabasa niya sa akin yun. Grade 7 pa lang ako, tapos maggagawa ko ng book
Okay lang
summary.
yan. Yung daughter ko na grade 3, pinasisimula ko
Oo.
na lahat ng personality development books ko, pinababasa ko na sa kanya.
Yes. Kasi
Hmm.
nga so yun yung mga pinapabasa sa akin. And actually we have those books actually in our old house yung
Wow.
mga So
Maganda yan kasi original. Mga
yes.
unang
And
version.
so actually when I learned about NLP here, okay, through meeting Ken and then si Jason Principe
Hmm.
pa yun. So I was actually quite excited, okay, to actually have it for yung employer ko nung time na yun.
Hmm.
So, anyhow, okay,
Okay.
so I think we have, okay, a few people
Okay, I
gathering
think we
now.
can get
Uh,
the ball rolling.
yes. Okay, so ladies and
Hindi pa pala,
gentlemen,
wait lang, Chris, hindi pa pala tayo nagsisimula, no? Baka gulat sila eh, no? Ay, di ba ba yun? So, gulat yung mga audience na ito. So, ayan, sige.
okay. So actually, there are some people also messaging me. Okay, by the
Wow.
way. Okay, so I'll just message some people to go.
Hmm.
They can actually access it through our page. Okay, so what I can say is that, okay, so we're having guys come in, okay? So, basta pagka umupo kayo, you have to have your pens and papers with
Yes.
you, okay? Even have a glass, your own cup of coffee. Medyo mahabang-habang lecture to din yun.
We'll make sure it's fun and easy to absorb. Yun naman lagi
Okay.
kong
So
promise.
I'm just actually ushering in and facilitating some people in the private chats, okay? Kasi
Okay?
they're looking for the link.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just put it in their messenger. Yeah. So I'm sending it to some of our friends here, our community members.
Yeah.
Okay. So there. So anyhow, okay. So guys, okay. So if you have your pens and papers ready, okay, and then your ears are ready, okay. So I give the floor to Mr. Luigi Mañoza, okay, to
Yan.
discuss about the fundamentals of neuro linguistic programming.
Okay, thanks, Chris. So, let's start with this. Okay. Share. Oh, wait. Asan yun? Where's my... Wait lang, guys. Ayan. So, share ulit nitong isa. Okay na ba, guys? Kita nyo na yung ano? Yung... Nabala yung Zoom. Okay na, Chris. Kita nyo na yung PowerPoint. Ayun. Kita ko na dito sa ano, sa monitor.
Okay, okay na
Ah,
siya. Kita ko na siya.
so, let's start from the beginning. Okay. So, guys, pag may questions kayo, key in nyo lang dun sa chat natin and then we'll address that afterwards or maybe in between. So, welcome to our class for today, which will be covering fundamentals of NLP. So, this will be the core principles, methodologies, or ano ba yung what got NLP started. Okay, so yung mga na-mention kanina ni Chris about myself, you can see it here. Though, I always do my introductions towards the end. Okay, so, and for sure you have, dito nabasa nyo yung short bio ko. I think that's enough for starters. Okay, so let's jump into our topic for today. Okay, so Neuro Linguistic Programming, let me just read this and then elaborate it. Okay, so Neuro Linguistic Programming is actually the study of how your language and perception affect your neurology and your behavior. So how does this work? Okay, so remember the last command that you made to somebody or to yourself. Okay, so the last command, the last pakisuyo na ginawa nyo. Okay, and most likely what you use, okay, are words. Okay, sometimes there is what we call a kinesthetic action wherein you touch the person pa. So yung nakikiusap ka, tap ka ng shoulder and everything. Okay, before you started doing that action, you had this command coming from the mind. Okay, and normally, if you think of certain commands in your mind, they come in a form of words. They come in a form of phrases. They come in a form of sentences. That's structured in a certain way. Okay, so give you an example. I had this client, a mother who wants to help her child na mas maintindihan yung nangyayari. Okay, so the first question na sinabi niya dun sa anak niya is, anak, tama ba yung ginawa mo? Okay, so most likely if the child is already of a certain age na alam niya na rin yung tama at mali, kahit hindi niya tanggap na tama yon just to please the mother, pwede niya sabihin, yes, tama yun. Okay, so meron ng fixed response. Now, same idea or same goal, same outcome na gusto mangyari ng parent or ng mother, pero iibahin natin kung paano niya kinausap yung anak niya. Sabi ko sa kanya, suggestion is, why not try to ask your child in this way? What do you think of what happened, of what you did? What can you say about what you did? Now, that's a different kind of response, most likely yung makukuha niya. But same lang din siya. Medyo tinweak na lang natin yung language. So ngayon, how does this connect with how we behave, how we think, and how we feel? Okay, everything starts from a command, from our mind. And if we can give better commands, won't we do better actions? Won't we do better way of thinking? Won't we feel better? Okay? Now imagine mo na lang yung last conversation na sabihin natin got heated up. Pwedeng with your employer, with your employee, or yung mga minamanage mo. Okay? Or maybe just somebody you know. What if you change how you talk that day? Do you think magiging heated pa rin yung conversation nyo just like how it happened? Okay? So now you understand, you already have this idea that there's a certain way that we talk to ourselves, that we command ourselves. Okay? That we gear ourselves towards something. And it comes in a form of language. Okay? Yung iba nga nakikita nila dyan, parang mga scripts. Okay? Parang mga scripts sa pelikula. And then normally, even in movies, there's a certain scene already. Pag medyo hindi feel ng director at pinalitan niya yung script, lahat nag-iiba din. Yung feel ng movie, yung actions ng mga actors, di ba? Everything changes. Now, where does perception come into play with this? Perception, pwede natin siyang i-relate with beliefs or how a person views the world or how a person views something. Okay? And most likely, each of us here, magkakaiba tayo namang belief when it comes to, kunyari, sabihin mo lang, politics, religion, yung way of handling kids, way of handling employees, di ba? Way of talking to employers, sa mga boss, di ba? Ganyan. Iba-iba tayo ng belief. Yung iba, ang belief nila is dapat equal lang. Kaya ko i-voice out dapat lahat. Yung iba follows a certain rule of hierarchy. So makikita nyo, bawat tao, iba-iba yung belief niya. Iba-iba yung paniniwala niya sa mga bagay-bagay. And if you can understand your own beliefs better, mold them to better beliefs, that will also have an effect on how you think, how you feel, and how you act. And ngayon, isipin mo, kung mas kilala mo yung kausap mo, mas naiintindihan mo siya, mas alam mo yung mundong ginagalawan niya, mas alam mo kung ano yung mga bagay na nag-push sa kanya to do something, alam mo yung mga bagay na ayaw niya, wouldn't you be able to handle that person better? The situations better? So again, NLP is the study of language and perception and how it can be used to have better behaviors, meaning better outcomes. So that is what NLP, short description lang niya. And through the study, the creation of NLP, the founders have created certain models, certain techniques, certain strategies, certain patterns, certain systems that would allow you to use language, to use belief shifting to influence or have better way of thinking, feeling, and acting. Kasi kung iisipin mo, etong tatlong to, ito yung ginagawa natin in totality every single day. We think, we feel, we do certain things. And if you can do better, you would most likely know the result already. You'll become better HR managers, you could become HR trainers, di ba? You become better employees, you become better employers, you become good managers and CEOs. Di ba? So, yun yung ano, that is where NLP can help you. Okay. So, ito yung pasok na sa example natin kanina. So, let's cover as much today. Okay, let's skip muna itong mga minor exercise natin. So, para mas marami tayong makover. So, the founders of NLP are these three people. And mainly, John Grinder and Richard Bandler. So, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na tatlong tao na nagsimula ng NLP. It started actually around 1970s pa in US, to be exact, state of California. And actually, doon siya nakita-kita sa University of California. And at that time, Richard Bandler was a psych student who was in his early 20s. And then John Grinder was an associate professor, okay, for linguistics. And he was the youngest at that time in their state. Okay, so ito yung unang tatlong tao. And what did they do? Okay, what they did is they saw these three people, these three subjects that they have. Virginia Satir, the mother of family therapy, Fritz Perls, Milton Erickson, who is the founder of Ericksonian hypnosis, one of the greatest hypnotists of all time. Okay? These three people were actually helping a lot of people at that time to be better, to progress, okay, to get over their mental health issues, to acquire certain techniques in a short matter of time, to be able to produce results that all of their clients thought was impossible. So ngayon, going back, they were so fascinated to the point na inisip nila, how can we, or is it even possible to get their excellence, their talent, and be able to use it ourselves, be able to modify it, make it better, and be able to pass it down, to transfer it to other people. Yun yung unang tanong nila, is it even possible? And if it is, how would we do that? Okay, so what they found is if they study how these three, Virginia Satir, Fritz Perls, and Milton Erickson, do what they're doing, and also study and observe yung mga clients nila, what happened or how did it happen, by observing their way of thinking, their behavior, everything, from the very simplest detail in their way of doing their coaching, their therapy, or whatever they were doing. So, upon doing that, doon na nila nakita yung ano, yung framework. Doon na nila nakita kung paano. And then from there, ang dami na nilang info. So what they did is they created certain, yun nga, sabi kanina, techniques, models, patterns, systems, procedures, step-by-step process. They really analyze it to the core, to the point that it became a study. It became something that they could test. It became something that if they're successful, they could teach others, pass it on to others. Okay? So in short, for me, NLP is the process, the system, and the structure of anything excellent. Okay, you see a talent na nandyan, and you want to acquire it, you can use NLP to get it. A skill, a goal, an achievement. You can use NLP to act, even just how NLP was founded, you can already use that and acquire that skill. Okay, so mamaya pag-usapan natin, paano nyo ba mismo magagawa yun? Okay, so, ayan. By the way, Ken, if you want to input, chat mo lang ako, so at least I can key you in. Okay? So, next natin is...
yeah, okay naman, bro. Ang ganda, ang galing. Yeah, man.
Okay, so message mo lang ako para hindi ko siya key in.
Sige lang, go lang.
Okay. So, by the way, guys, good friend din who's also an NLP practitioner that's with us today is Ken. So, kaso lang, he's doing something, pero most likely mamaya pag nakakita ng time, he will also share inputs with you guys. And Ken kasi, I've known him for a long time, for more than 10 years. We've been, kasama kami, natuturo kami ng sales, ng marketing. So, yung pala yung hindi na-mention kanina. So, 5 years doing this professionally. And pero prior to that, for more than 10 years, and up to now, I've been training in sales, marketing, advertising, and branding. So, yan talaga yung background ko. Yan din yung pinag-aralan ko ng college, and that's also something close to my heart. So, I really love closing, selling, negotiating, actually. So, yeah. So, we've done with that. Going back here, first thing na I want you to remember, with even just the story of how NLP was founded, of how NLP came to be. And this is something that has already helped hundreds or maybe even millions of people already all over the world. They started with being curious. They started with that. And that was the birth of NLP. That is the reason why we have NLP. And actually, hindi lang din NLP. Curiosity has been a driving force for the longest period of time for innovation. Everybody who has invented something was first curious, second determined. Okay, but first we were curious. So ngayon, if there's something skill, if you want to ask me, ano ba yung isang importanteng skill na dapat merong kami coach, is that you have to be curious all the time. Okay, as much as possible until you get what you want. And being curious doesn't have, it's very simple. Ito pa yung mga guide questions nyo, guys. What, when, where, how, who, and why. But coach, tagal ko lang alam yan eh. How could that help me? How could these questions help me? Number one, okay, bago yung question, you must have a defined outcome of what you want to happen, a defined response to a certain somebody that you're talking to. Okay, yun yung una. A well-formed outcome, a clear goal. Okay, yun yung dapat meron ka muna. And then, since meron ka ng goal, meron ka ng outcome, meron ka ng sagot, ano kailangan mo na lang? Yung tamang tanong. Okay? That would help you, once asked, help you get information, get resources that you could use, you could test if ito na ba yung hinahanap mo to get to your goal. Okay, like for example, what went wrong? What should we do with this? What's the best thing that we can do right now? What led to this? What should we adjust? What should we tweak? What was the cause? What's the effect? When? When is the best time to talk to this person? When is the best time to actually fire somebody? When is the best time to give their bonus, to announce their bonus? Um, when it, when is a good time to actually do or give a bad report? Okay, mga ganyan. Then where? Where's the best place to talk to this person? Where's his favorite spot? Where are we right now? Where are we going? Where's this headed? How? How is that possible? How was that possible? How did we make it possible? How are we going to fix this? How are we going to solve this? Okay? How are we going to find a solution? Who? Who's the best person for this task? Who's the best person for this job? Who's the best person to talk to this person? Who should we connect with? Who should we remove from our life? Who should I do this for? Who am I doing this for? Why? Why are we here? Why is it like this? Why is he or she like that? Why is this happening? So all of those things. And coach, when do we stop being curious? For the time being, maybe you could rest when you have your goal, and then start being curious again. Okay, so one of my favorite questions for progress is very simple. How can I do better? That's always something I ask myself. In terms of speaking, how can I deliver whatever I delivered better next time? I always ask that to myself every time I do a training, a coaching, a live session, a coaching session, a therapy session. I always ask myself, how can I deliver or do it better next time? Okay, so yun lang. And if you want, since my HR, I'm gonna share with you and take this opportunity. And then one of my advocacy, every time I'm being asked to speak for companies related to mental health and productivity, imagine your company right now. If everybody was asking, how can I help you? One person is done with this task, and then lumapit sa ka-employee niya and then ask, hey, how can I help you? What if everybody in your organization is asking that? Ito yung isang bagay na it is a goal of mine. That everybody asks each other, one another, not just here, and not just here in your company, not just here in our group, not just here in the Philippines, but all over the world. Imagine a world who asks, how can I help? Imagine what that would be. Imagine what this question, if you can actually manage to engrave it with everybody in your workplace. How can I help? All right. So next natin is a principle of NLP, modeling and mirroring. Okay. With this concept, check ko lang yung chat natin, guys. Ha? Baka may questions kayo dyan. So again, if you guys have questions, if you have comments, you can kindly keep in the chat. Yun lang yung request ko sa inyo for today. Again, we're having a free class. And if you want to make the most out of this, respond if ever may questions, share if ever there's something na nakita mong insight, because this is for you. Okay, and this is how you're gonna get the most out of this by participating. Okay, so yun lang actually yung request ko sa inyo, guys. So next natin na topic is modeling, mirroring, and matching. So with modeling, ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na what the founders used or actually initially created when they were starting with NLP. This is what they used to create NLP. Okay? How is this possible? With modeling, guys, imagine right now, okay, sulat nyo to, imagine a certain skill, a certain goal, a certain achievement, a certain improvement that you want to reach. Okay? So siguro for this, Chris, can I have you, for a few seconds lang. May questions
Yes.
lang ako. What's
Uh,
the, for you, top 3 essential skill as an HR practitioner?
for HR practitioner,
Top 3. Yung in mind lang.
communication.
Communication.
Communication, okay. And then we have coordination.
To coordinate, right? Hmm.
Yes. And also negotiation.
Negotiation. Ayun lang, Chris. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, eto guys, for example, yung binigay ni Chris, napakagandang mga skill set niya. Okay? So, for her, nakita niya na sobrang essential to sa isang HR practitioner. You have to have good call skills. So, paano natin i-apply yung modeling? Okay, ngayon, for example, goal mo na maging better in communication. Pwede mong hanapin as a subject who's the best HR na kilala mo, who's good at communicating with people with the kind of communication that you have in mind. Okay? Kunyari, hindi lang HR. Lawakan natin. Yung gusto kong maging klase ng communicator, sino ba yung ganito sa buong mundo? Or close to it? That is your subject. Katulad neto, they have their subjects. For personality development, growth, excellence. Ito yung unang subject na nakita nilang tatlo. Because these 3 people were helping a lot of people be better in a very short period of time, in a very high efficiency rate. Okay, so sa inyo, sino yung Fritz Perls nyo, sino yung Virginia Satir nyo, sino yung Milton Erickson nyo, okay, na pwede nyo maging subject for communication. Okay, or same, katulad ng isa pa, coordination. Sino yung pinakamagaling mong, kilala mo na pinakamagaling mag-coordinate? Paano siya nagko-coordinate? That's your subject, Yan yung imo-model mo ngayon. And lastly, is with negotiation. Okay? Who's the best HR negotiator na kilala mo? Who's the best negotiator in the world that's close to who you want to become or the skill that you want to acquire? Okay, so again, how do we start with this? First, have something that you want to acquire. It can be a form of skill, income, achievement, status, anything you want. Next is finding a subject for that. Sino yung naka-achieve na ng gusto mo ma-achieve or even close to it, related to it. Okay? Kasi kung nakita nyo kanina, just because you're an HR practitioner and then you want to be a good HR communicator, not necessarily na kailangan mong humanap ng subject within just the HR circle. Kung ano man yung gusto mo ma-acquire, you look for it in the whole world or around the globe. Kasi most likely, somebody has achieved what you're trying to achieve. And if wala, okay, so you just have to find something close to it. Okay, so that's again number 2. And then, with mirroring and matching, so mayroon ka na subject, i-observe mo ngayon paano nila nakuha yung gusto mong makuha. How did they achieve what you want to achieve? Meron ka ng data. Okay? Ngayon, itong data na to, na-process mo na. Nakagawa ka na ng mga step-by-step process, ng mga technique mo na pwede mong i-apply galing doon sa information na nakuha mo, kaka-observe, kaka-analyze doon sa subject mo. Na pwede mo na ngayon, next, i-test. Okay? And by testing, it's applying. Okay? The same thing that they did, the way that they did it, okay? Everything na nakita mo na baka yun yung key para makuha mo rin yung nakuha nila. And in a way, that's already what we call mirroring. By mirroring what you've seen, what you've analyzed, what you've observed, okay, and matching it in the process to the detail. Okay, tapos i-check mo na lang, kailangan ko pa bang i-keep itong detail na to, itong info na to. Baka pwede na itong maalis para mas efficient, mas mabilis, mas simple. Okay, nagtitrim ka na towards the end. So again, that is modeling, mirroring, and matching. This is what can help you acquire anything you want in a form of skill, income, achievement, goal, status, or whatever in a very short period of time with the highest efficiency rate. So your homework is, number one, find something you want to acquire. Number two, model it. Number three, figure out and create a certain process that you could test. And then test it. If you get what you want to get, that's already good. You can just fine tune it. If not, you have to assess and adjust and then test again. Okay? So yun siya. So the process of modeling is this. Ito yung version ko ng tawag dito, modeling, mirroring, and matching is number one, you observe. Number two, you track. Number three is you create a structure and a process. You can modify it before testing or you can modify it after testing. Pwede naman ganun. And then continuous modification para mas ma-fine-tune mo yung nakikreate mo na sistema. Okay? Kasi ang dami sa inyo for sure na may hinahandle na tao. Tinuturuan kung paano nila gagawin yung dapat nilang gawin. And yung tipong dumarating na kayo sa point na, Diyos ko, Lord, pwede ko bang ipasa na lang yung galing ko sa Kanya para magawa niya ng maayos yung trabaho niya? I'm pretty sure some of you guys have already been in that kind of situation. Ito yung sagot. Okay? Breakdown mo yung sarili mo. Breakdown mo yung pagkakaintindi mo on how the task should be done. Create a step-by-step process and then tsaka mo ipasa. Hindi yung sabihin mo lang, ay gusto ko ng ganito, gusto ko ganito siya, gusto ko dapat ganyan yung pagkakatapos, pagkakagawa. Gusto ko ganito yung resulta. Gawin mo itong ginagawa ko. Tignan mo kung paano ko siya ginagawa. Diba? So, ngayon, mas madali maiintindihan yung taong kausap mo. Kasi, mas fine yung details, mas maayos, mas maliwanag. In short, clear. Okay? Mas madali siya ngayon, ma-test ng taong pinagpapagawa mo kung posible nga ba yung kung paano mo siya ginagawa. Okay? Kung kukopyahin niya na lang yun. Diba? So, ito yung homework nyo. Okay? So, if you have any questions with regards to modeling, mirroring, and matching, you can actually just comment it. Okay? May mga realizations kayo, share nyo rin sa iba. Okay? Para marami tayong natututunan dito. So, as another thing pa before we move forward to yung next na topic natin is in terms of mirroring and matching, it also is a skill that can be used for building rapport. Okay? This is by actually using similarities and differences to your favor, making the person aware that you are the same in a certain thing and that you are tawag dito, different in a certain thing and that you can both agree on a certain thing. Like for example, Chris, what's one of your favorite color na na-mention mo sa akin last time?
Okay. Actually, I like lots of colors. Pero favorite color, green, blue,
Yung
purple,
last time na pinag-usapan natin na nasa logo mo, what's that color?
gray.
And how was it that you saw kanina I was wearing gray? Ano yung initial feeling na nakakita ka ng gray?
Well, actually, I liked it. Okay,
Hmm.
so I see that. So I didn't know. I know I'm not sure if it's intentional, pero since I like the color gray, I'll be naturally drawn to you.
In a way, may kanina, parang may konting good vibes pa kahit paano. Kahit konti lang. Did it parang made you feel good in a certain way na kahit sobrang konti lang. Just because you saw something gray, not even because of me, pero nakakita ka lang ng konting gray, yung mga parang, alam mo yung pakiramdam ngayon na nare-realize mo, did you have
Hindi,
that kind of thing?
maganda. I mean,
Hmm.
of course, okay. Since I like that color, okay, so, 'di ba? Masaya ako na nakita ko yung kulay na yun.
Ayun. So, yung ito kasi guys, tawag dito. Thank you, Chris. Okay na. Okay. Thank you for that. So, this is one example of mirroring and matching. Kahit sa lang, sa clothes, pwede mo na siyang gawin. Like, I was doing a talk a few days ago for a female group. Okay, so probably sila doon. Yung color nila is pink. So, I wore pink para medyo mas mabilis ako makakonect, makabuild ng rapport because yung familiarity, there's something to that. There's something drawn to that. Na syempre parang dahil parehas kayo, feeling mo parehong tao kayo, magkakaintindihan kayo. And sometimes, yun nga, knowing the kahit pa paano naman pala naging na successful ako dun sa goal ko with Chris na I want to lighten up her day by wearing a color that in a way that she likes. And success naman siya. Okay, another example for mirroring and matching is when you are in a certain, attending a certain event, okay, you always check kung ano yung kailangan na suot mo para hindi ka mag-stand out, mag-blend in ka. Okay, another way of mirroring and matching is through actions. Nakita mo na yung isang tao kumakain, sabayan mong kumain, tapos tsaka kayo mag-usap. Pero kung kumakain siya, tapos umupo ka lang doon, kinausap mo siya, sa tingin mo may rapport. Pero kung kumakain kayo, tapos pares pa kayo ng kinakain, okay, baka may naaalala kang gano'n, di ba? Sinabayan mo. Okay, nakita mo, kahit ano siya, tawag dito, ito yung mga hobby niya. Pinuntahan mo kung saan siya naglalaro. Di ba? Tapos, yun. May naalala ka, Chris?
Na naalala ko kasi may tumabi sa akin, kinuha yung puto ko eh. Hindi,
Okay.
hindi. Ano lang, co-worker ko yun. Okay,
Ha,
kasi tumabi sa akin. Kwento-kwento. Favorite daw niya yung puto bilang pahinging puto.
bilis, no?
Buti
Dahil,
nagpaalam pa. Buti
oh.
Nagpaalam naman. Okay.
Oo, yeah.
Anything you want to add, Ken?
In regards sa matching and mirroring, very, very efficient na technique yan. Lalo na kung ang daming applications eh. You could match and mirror visually. You could match and mirror through auditory, through what they could hear. You could match and mirror their words, and you could match and mirror their feelings. So if you get to like, you have a friend na malungkot, tapos malungkot ka rin, mas madali yung mga nakita rin natin na kaka-break up lang, tapos yung lalaki kaka-break up lang din, mas madali silang magkaroon ng relasyon kasi pareho silang nanggagaling sa sa space na yon, sa mindset. So yeah, ang daming pwedeng paggamitin nito, and karamihan na nakikita ko na gumagamit na to lately sa sales. They are teaching this already for negotiation. They're using this a lot. Itong matching and mirroring. Yeah. Mm.
Ayun.
Yun lang.
So,
Yun lang.
thanks, Ken. Thanks, Chris. So, ayun guys, bago tayo mag-move forward sa next topic, isa pang application ng mirroring and matching is like for example, may isang tao ka nahihirapan ka makipag-communicate sa kanya for whatever reason, hindi kayo magkaintindihan, hindi niya mag-gets yung gusto mong ipagawa or isabihin sa kanya or i-communicate. What you could do is, if it's really important for you, you could do a certain background research on ano yung mga, what does this person like in terms of yung uh, food, the things that they watch, okay, yung mga favorite nila. And in a way, use that as your examples, okay? So for example, nalaman mo mahilig siya sa Marvel. Kung gusto mo siyang maging, kung gusto mong i-pass on yung, communicate something that has to do with honesty, okay? You could use Captain America as a reference. Okay? Baka mas mabilis niya maintindihan yun. If you want him to, kumbaga, to be, tawag dito, somebody who's to sacrifice something, okay? Kunyari, gusto mo siyang ilagay doon sa pwesto na tawag dito na magiging komportable siya kahit anong mangyari sa kanya, mapahiyaman siya and then do this for the team na gano'n. Why not use Tony Stark, Captain Iron Man as a reference para ma-bridge mo sa kanya na dapat ganito yung maging output mo. Ganito dapat yung maging action mo. Okay, so by using this, by knowing the interest of the people and how they see the world or how they, kumbaga, easily can understand the world, you can use that as reference when communicating. Sabi nga sa inyo, NLP is a way of using language and communication and behavior, okay, to actually generate better, communication and perception and beliefs to generate better behaviors, better outcomes. So again, I hope with that very short discussion natin on modeling, mirroring, NLP, most likely you've gotten a lot already. If not, you can watch the replay and see ano yung mga concept that what was discussed. So again, hi to sa mga viewers natin. Hi Pido, hi Dudley, and hi Lee. Okay, so how can you explain? Okay, balikan natin yan mamaya, Lee, yung question. Okay, so next natin. Okay. So if there was something that now dito makikita natin din with how NLP started is they started to be curious. And eventually all throughout they had a certain goal. And if ever yung na-create nilang unang process, system, and technique doesn't actually lead them to their goal, what they do is they change it. So actually, isa sa mga parang advocacy ni NLP is to remind everybody that if they want something and at first it didn't work, they must do something or just adjust it until they get it. Okay? So this is a skill like curiosity kanina na very vital sa naging founding ng NLP. And there's a lot of actually techniques within the sa mga models ng NLP that could help you be more flexible and be more adaptable. Pero siguro we can tackle most of that some other time. So again, what we want you to see here is that even with the core principles that gave birth to NLP, dun pa lang, solve ka na. Okay? Yung mga techniques, yung mga models, yung mga process, is if you study this further, would just be a bonus. Diba? Kasi dito, alam mo na agad paano nag-start si NLP. Anything you want to add, Ken? In this topic?
Modeling, di ba?
No, flexibility, adaptability.
Flexibility and adaptability. Kasi kung titingnan natin dito, yun nga very important yung sinabi ni Luigi kanina, calibration and testing. So, for example, as we get to study NLP deeper, more, ang napapansin natin is, yun nga, everyone is different. Everyone is different. So, for like, working in this field na we get to like, see a lot of experts and professionals that sharing, giving their advice. There are times na you would agree with me na, uy, meron yata. May mga times na yung advice mo, hindi gagana dun sa tao. Pero gumana sa'yo. Di ba? So, yun kasi yung nakikita natin dito eh. Most of the time, napapansin natin na meron tayong approach that really works for most pero doesn't work for the other people. So ngayon, with the mindset and structuring ng NLP, you get to, instead of give the advice, you work with actually helping them find their own answers.
Yes.
Making them adapt, making them actually make their own, like, make better decisions, create better choice, create options. So, yun yung mga naging super strong foundations din namin nila Luigi as therapists and coaches. Kasi parang, yun nga ito dapat mo gawin, di ba? Pero iba yung, sa tingin mo, with this information at hand, what are the things that you can do better? Diba? Siya ngayon yung nag-iisip. So, finiframe mo yung mind eh. Di ba? Finiframe mo kasi alam mo sa nasa mindset mo na sa practitioner na kaya mo i-mold yun eh. Kaya maging flexible ng tao and to adapt to certain changes eh. Pero yun nga, pag nangyari na ikaw yung coach or therapist, tapos naniniwala ka na hindi kayang baguhin ng tao yun, ang hirap pa din sa kanila magbago.
Yes,
kasi ano yun eh, may tawag doon na effect eh. I forgot. Pero very strong yun for a coach, a trainer, and a coachee and a trainee. May factoring yun. So, ayun. Yun lang. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ken. So, sobrang ganda nung sinabi ni Ken na yes, most of the NLP tawag dito coaches, trainers, and even hypnotherapists, ganyan yung naging way of thinking namin. Kasi like, before may natendan ako certification, it's worth around 60K yata or more. And then, first day pa lang, sabi ko, pwede na akong hindi pumasok, sulit na yung binayad ko. And if you're curious to what I got during the first day, during the first few minutes, ang una kasing sinabi sa amin doon ng trainer namin is if you're trying to help people, remember that the answer is not with you. So nung narinig ko yun, parang, wow. Akala ko dati kailangan ko bang basahin lahat ng review? Kaya kailangan ko aralin lahat ng processes just to give a good advice when a good advice doesn't do anything at all. sobrang gaan as a coach, as a therapist, as a trainer, nung marinig ko yun. So, sabi ko, sulit na kahit di na ako umattend, kahit di ko natapusin to, kahit di na ako ma-certify. Sulit na yung 60K.
Oo, solid na alala ko yun. Ang naging concept galing dyan na palagi natin na pag-uusapan is, kunwari, meron kang kaibigan, di ba? Tapos yung kaibigan mo, niloloko na siya nung shota niya. Sasabihin mo, di ba? Normal bilang kaibigan, iwan mo na yan. Di ba? Pero kahit tama na yung advice mo, hindi rin.
Wala.
Hindi, wala din mangyayari. Unless na, okay, so, pa-realize mo sa kanya yung nangyayari talaga, and then when they realize it, make them form their own outcomes, their own conclusions. Hanggang sa point na, sa tingin mo, hanggang kailan mo kaya tiisin yan? O di ba siya nag-isip kung hanggang kailan? Sa tingin mo, hanggang kailan mo kaya tiisin na ganyan yung pakiramdam mo? Sa tingin mo, kailan ka kaya magsasawa na ganyan yung pakiramdam mo sa sarili mo? Tapos sila nag-iisip, na-change yung question sa utak nila. Yung narrative, nag-change. Now it's a question of when. Di ba? So, I mean, wow, powerful stuff, man. Yeah.
Thank you. So, imagine nyo na lang, guys, if you're gonna be talking to your employees, to your employers, to the people around you in this kind of manner, in this kind of context, especially when you want to help somebody figure out something. And kung titignan mo yung pinaka-favorite kong example dito, in this part, is nung time na nag-aaral ka, okay? Nung time na nag-aaral ka, ang mas mabilis mong maalala or hindi mo na kailangang effortan is yung mga bagay na naintindihan mo mag-isa. Self-realization. Nung time na nag-aaral kayo, mga kinopya mong notes, yung mga talaga sinulat mo lang, o hindi mo talaga na-gets, okay, daig pa yon nung hindi ka kumopya ng notes, pero dahil nakinig ka sa teacher, sobrang natutuwa ka doon sa topic, kahit balik ta rin yung test paper, kaya mo sagutan yun. Same thing here. Now, knowing this, would you still go for straightforward commands or suggestions or advices with the people around you? Or maybe ask something wherein they would realize on their own what they need to know. Okay, so syempre may mga oras na yung time constraint. So, tansyahin mo na lang. Pero ako, self-realization ng boto ko.
Okay, so Luigi, I'll just add some things. Okay, so alam niyo yung NLP. Okay, it's actually a broad discipline. You can also apply, okay, certain techniques. Okay, also kasi mostly what you're telling them is interpersonal relations, diba?
Yes.
And speaking, diba? You can also actually apply that in writing. The reason I'm just injecting this kasi we're talking about teaching our community members, okay, how to be able to do things on their own. Okay. So yung mga when you Google search, okay, look at all the templates of memos there, okay? And what you can do, okay, that's modeling. Okay, look at the phrases, study the phrases, how it's being used, okay, in their business communications. Okay, para you don't need to ask people in forums for a template just to make a memo. Okay. So you can actually compose it yourself, okay? And mas maganda pa na where it comes straight, okay? You're articulating what you really want to say rather than copying those templates. I mean, modeling is different from copying, okay? Modeling, you see all those effective phrases, you use them, but you have your own personal flair, okay? So that's what we're just saying. Yun lang, Luigi.
Ayun. So, thank you, Chris. Thank you, Ken. So, there's a question here ni Lee. It's like, hello, how can you explain opposite poles attract and same pole repels? Okay, so with this, Lee, for example, yun nga even people who are different from each other, if they can find an agreement, okay, yun yung key doon. Kahit magkaiba sila, they've agreed on something. For example, they agreed na magkaiba sila. They can move forward their differences and start doing things together. with the idea that both of them are different and they're okay with that. Okay, so pagdating dito, ang pinaka-importante guys, if you want to move faster, especially when you're working with people, find agreements. Find things that you can agree on. Kasi pag yung sa mga bagay na yon, actually I was for those who don't know, one of the things that I do when I'm relaxing na after a day's work is I play games. Okay? And one of these games na nilalaro ko recently, which has very good na pagkakagawa, isang isang scene doon, sabi nung character, is that if we already have agreements, means, okay, if we're already in an agreement, do we still need to talk? Okay, yun yung sinabi niya. Okay, or if we are in an agreement already, there's no need to talk. And that's what's most likely happens. Imagine niyo na lang, yung mga projects, yung mga bagay na everything was already agreed on how, pag na ganito yung nangyari, ganito yung gagawin. Everything was kumbaga cascaded properly. Everybody was in tune. Everybody was resonating with one another. Okay? So yung mga panahon na yon, that is like, yun nga, yung sagot with the question na how can opposite poles attract or why do they even kumbaga nagkapasok is because yun nga, kahit magkaiba sila, they've agreed on something. They found something that they could agree on and move forward. And why does sometimes same pole repels, yung kahit parehong tao? Most likely, they're already in a stage of disagreement. Kahit pareha sila, kahit marami silang pinagkapare-pareho or mga qualities, traits, or beliefs, they are disagreeing on something vital. That's, kumbaga, preventing them to move forward. So, that's my take on the question, Lee. I hope that has helped. So, Ken, yeah?
Yep. Add ko lang, no? So, talking about the concept of like mirroring and matching, siguro we could easily formulate na naman why, di ba? Pero kung titignan nga natin, what do you call this? Yung concept ng opposites attract. Di ba? Very interesting yung topic na yan. Pero let's look at it at a different perspective then. Ang ganda nung sinabi ni Luigi. I totally agree with that na tao pa rin kayong dalawa, pareho kayong may kamay, pareho kayong may bibig. Diba? You could find similarities with everything. Pero watching a documentary on Netflix, like it's called 100 Humans, there was a scene there, they were talking about likability. And ang daming factors like looks, like, di ba, ugali, personality, whatever. Ang naging sagot dun was, how do we like a person? Familiarity yung sagot. Familiarity. So, kung titingnan natin, may factors din yung core values ng tao. Iba-iba tayo ng kinalakihan, ng environment, na kinalakihan. So, there are people that like similarities. There are people that dislike similarities. There are people that like differences and there are people that dislike differences. So, kung ikaw yung taong you like differences, tapos meron kang nakamatch na they also like differences, syempre, doon sila nagkatagpo. Di ba? Nagkatagpo, nagkaroon ng connection sila doon sa core values nila or doon sa perception nila. So again, this can apply to some. This may not apply to some. So it depends on the person or the situation then. So yun, ako sa akin yun yung perspective ko doon. Yeah. Yun lang.
Yun. Umaan-mute eh. Thank you. So, Chris, I think that's good for today. If let's just do it this way. If you have personally, if you have questions for me, let me know. You guys watching, you have certain questions and mga realization, please let us know so we could address it. And then, if ever, pag lang akong short towards the end, Chris, kung okay lang.
Yeah, sure.
So may question muna tayo if may questions pa.
So, we're actually just opening the floor for questions,
Mm.
okay? And then we want, if you want to clarify certain things, okay, how you can use NLP in your personal life and in your professional life.
Mm.
Ito, Luigi, okay, so we were talking about this, okay, so a lot of people, okay, in forums, they've been asking questions na, oh, yung mga nag-job interview, okay,
Mm.
so, okay, one of their deterrent is actually hindi sila magaling mag-English, okay, that's one.
Okay.
And then number two, pagka may test, hindi sila pumapasa. So,
Mm.
how can they use the NLP framework, okay, to
Mm.
improve their chances in, okay, in their job application?
Okay. So with regards to that, number one would be a thorough analysis of self first. Okay, so kailangan makita nila yung good points and bad points. So now they with analyzing yourself, analyzing the situation. Okay, some of it are check mo doon. So analyze. Number two, doon sa napansin mo sa scenario and even with yourself. Okay, so environment, self, analyze parehas yan. Okay, number two, doon sa napansin mo, alin doon yung may control ka sa wala. Okay? Doon ka mag-focus syempre, alam niyo na yan. Okay? Tsaka na natin elaborate yan. But right now, straight advice lang, straight coaching lang. You focus on what you can. Okay? Now, you know already what you can control, what you can manage within whatever you've seen or observed. Now, figure out how can that be improved or how can that be addressed. Okay? Pag nakita mo na kung paano, if you can find somebody who has that skill, who has that thing that you're looking for, you could use modeling. Okay, you observe other people have taken the test from trainers, yung mga nag-a-advise sa mga books, and then test it out. So importante dyan, Chris, yung thorough analysis and then figuring out also yung what's within their bounds and not. And
Mm-hmm.
then figuring out how can that be addressed. So
Yes.
talagang process siya. So, and eventually, syempre, yung testing. Kasi
Mm.
yung mga tao is, tawag dito, dun medyo nahihirapan yung push eh. So, guys, kung procrastinating, dalawa lang yung ano dyan, dalawa lang yung reason yan. It's either it's too difficult or it's too easy. If you found out something na kaya hindi mo magawa, hindi mo ma-apply, is masyado siyang madali, lagyan mo ng reward or punishment. Okay? I hope dun ka na lang umalign sa reward, pero may mga
Mm.
tao kasi na medyo they get the boost from punishment, so syempre kailangan natin i-acknowledge yon, but it's always a better route if laging reward yung dun sa reward route ka pupunta. Ngayon naman, coach, paano pag sobrang hirap? Syempre kailangan mong i-break down yung task, na
Mm.
figure out mo na nga na mahirap, na hindi mo kaya, tapos ipipilit mo pa rin, expecting that you can without even changing anything. That's insanity. That's impossible. You know? So break it down until you can manage to do it, and eventually allowing it to become better in English.
Okay, yun. So yun yung mga like application ng NLP framework, okay, to address a need, okay. So anyway, so are there more questions? Let's
Yes,
check if
meron
there are
si
more
Kay
questions.
Lee sa chat natin sa video.
Mm. So wait, I'll go there.
Yung this pandemic.
So this pandemic, okay, so Miss Lee Martin Manalay says, so this pandemic situation caused a lot of mental stress like depression, boredom, anxiety. So with applying NLP, how can you help these people in this situation? What's the proper approach?
Okay. So I'll give you two answers, Lee. One is NLP related and one is within my personal process. Okay. So doon mo tayo sa NLP related. The first thing that came to my mind that could help you with this to deal with anxiety, stress, and kung ano man yung boredom, yung dala ng ng pandemic is number one, syempre, figure out mo muna ano yung state na gusto mong to be in. If you're in an anxious state, you're in a depressed state, what state would you like to be at? Okay, kung ayaw mo nun, you don't want to be bored, what kind of state would you like to be at? Pag bored kasi, medyo hiwalay siya kasi the other ones are emotions and the other one medyo action-related siya. So, syempre kung sa action-related, nabobore ka, ang pinaka-key dyan is finding something that would be interesting for you to do. Okay, and then, if it's interesting, you don't even need to be motivated about it. You're just gonna do it. Okay, so find something that you love and then make it accessible. That's one thing. Kasi minsan sa sobrang layo nung bagay na gusto mo nga, na-mention ko to Chris nung isa lang last time na nag-live ako. This is just about pen and paper. Tapos nagkaroon ako bigla ng analogy na sabi ko nga sa kanila, dapat laging malapit sa inyo yung mga notebooks nyo kung sa kayo nagdadump ng thoughts.
Oo.
Kasi baka mamaya, bad trip ka, gusto mong mai-unload. Eh sa sobrang layo ng papel, hindi mo yung sadness mo, pinipigilan ka to get your notebook. Hindi mo na rin nagawa kahit meron ka na naka-prepared na outcome. And then another thing, to address naman yung sa states, yun nga, sabi ko, find the state that you want to be at as compared to where you are at the moment, is you're gonna find something that would give you that kind of feeling, that kind of state. You don't want to be anxious. What do you want? You want to be happy? You want to be grateful? You want to be what? So ngayon, once you figure out the state that you want to be in, you find things that could, now when you see it, when you remember it, when you do it, when you think about it, gives you that certain state. Like for example, you want to be happy. Think of something that makes you happy. Print the picture. Make sure you see it every single time. Or do sa mga pwesto ko sa ka na-depressed or na-anxious. And then automatically, yung dahil nakita mo lang tong isang bagay na to and it gives you that happiness that you're looking for, okay, mararamdaman mo agad siya mas madali mo madala yung sarili mo doon. And this is what we call an anchor or anchoring. Okay? Now, let's go to my personal process. The personal process would be, you must have a, tawag dito, a go-to focus. What do I mean with go-to focus? You already have something pre-prepared and predetermined. Okay? With predetermined, you determine your outcome. Pre-prepared is you determine what you need to think about to give you that certain outcome. Okay? And when you are in a state na hindi mo gusto, just start working on that thought na gusto mo. Because I have a whole session for mind management and maybe we could schedule it sometime. So, but definitely yun yung yun yung tawag dito, yun yung maibibigay ko sa inyo suggestion with here. Number one is we discuss with anchors. Number two is have a go-to focus. A thought that would give you or that would lead you to the state that you want to be at.
Okay,
So, Ken,
So Ken and Luigi will ask this. So most of our community members are coaches, okay? And if they would want to go deeper into NLP, okay, how they can they go about that?
I'm sorry,
So
sorry,
they're
binasa ko yung
actually
Yeah,
uh
Chris. Yeah, we could answer naman that. In terms of like, if you want to become an NLP practitioner, there's an upcoming certification program for it, an international certification program. Uh, One of the master practitioners from, actually, he's from Singapore. He's associated with a very, very good certifying body, the Society of NLP, which is acknowledged by Dr. Richard Banter, the co-founder of NLP. So we're the session. It will be a 16 session program, and it will start by March 2. Ngayon Tuesday. So Luigi is one of the head organizers. So
mm,
actually, he can probably help you if you're interested. I'm personally attending this certification program because syempre importante rin yung acknowledge ni Dr. Richard Banzer. Even though I've
uh,
been working with this for how many years, pero again, this is the most like biggest certifying body. So importante yan.
Oo,
Yeah.
kasi mental health issues are actually becoming prevalent. Okay, so maybe a lot of people are coming out with it. Okay, and a lot of people, okay, uh, what is ano ba ang delineation, okay, when people are, you need to go to a psychologist na, and people who just are aimless or don't know what to do or don't know what they want.
okay, aimless or they're, like give me
Listless. Yun, bored. Kasi I think when you're bored, okay, it's not just about not wanting not knowing what to do, or, okay, nakatunganga ka. I think it's something like there's something deep within you, okay, that causes you na tumunganga ka and become bored. So, what is the delineation ba of just go, like, when do you go to a psychologist and get treated, or when do you apply
So,
NLP techniques lang muna?
the very simple parang thing that you could check or parang a marker for that is when you want to be better, you're having a hard time. Most likely you might need help from a different person, help from a different study. So it is the time when you want to be somewhere and it's in a way challenging.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the times that you most likely seek out again help from a psychologist, psychiatrist, an NLP practitioner, a hypnotherapist, a friend or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So yun lang yung marker dun eh. You wanna be somewhere, it's kind of challenging at the moment. Most likely meron kang hindi na figure out. So, yeah. Pero pag bored, Chris, hindi yun eh. Parehas siya kanina. When you're bored, it's disinteresting. And when it's disinteresting, normally that's a a course for tawag dito papunta ka na ng procrastination. And for those kind of moments, if you
Mm-hmm.
can't get see yourself moving, doing, or feeling a certain way, you must set in talaga a reward and a punishment system na doon. Because at the moment, you're disinterested. And when you're disinterested, you don't move. You don't do something. Tapos, ayun. Tapos, sagutin ko na rin yung question ni Lee. Okay?
Ah.
So, Lee is asking na I'm coming from a perspective of a coach. I have a client who doesn't know what he or she likes. She can even figure out what state or what she would like to be in. Okay, so number one is you could work with what's there first. Okay? But if you want to help really your client, kasi may sometimes working with the information at hand, kasi may mga times talaga na hindi talaga nila alam yung gusto nila. So, ako, I don't accept clients naman. Personal ko lang to, I don't accept clients who don't want to do anything about themselves. Because kahit anong gawin namin, we'll just be wasting time because the client's not yet ready. The vessel is not yet ready. So, what I could do with those is before the solution, I could help them first be in that state that they want to solve things. So
Mm-hmm.
nagiging ganun yung pattern namin. So but going back dun sa question about how to help a person figure out what they like, if they cannot know what they like, ask them what they don't like.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Most likely they know what they didn't like about what happened in their life, what happened in their situation. And automatically, what they like is the reverse of that or close to that. So, meron ka na agad. So, kung hindi mo makuha sa
Mm.
what do you wanna, ano gusto mo ma-achieve, anong goal mo, tanungin mo ano yung mga ayaw mong mangyayari or ayaw mong maulit.
Yeah,
Okay.
pwede. To add lang din doon, kasi syempre there are maraming sitwasyon na yan, Luigi, no? Na lalo sa hypnotherapy, parang tell me what you want to work on. Actually, lalo na pag clarity yung problema, I don't know eh. I don't know what I'm looking for eh. That's kaya nga ako lumapit sa inyo eh. May mga ganun. So, pag nga ganun, ang tinitingnan muna natin, maybe you could change also how the person feels at the moment. Maybe as the state of mind would also change.
Totoo
So
yan.
there are times na pwede iparelax mo muna tubig or gumamit ka ng hypnosis, gamit ka ng hypnotherapy, dalhin mo siya sa isang place na kaya niyang
Kampante.
ma-relax. Maybe there are lots of factors eh. Hindi sila feel nila hindi sila safe, or there are lots of thoughts boggling their state sa utak nila, ang daming iniisip. So, maraming pwedeng gawin. Like, number one, yung sinabi ni Luigi kanina, a mind dump. Di ba?
Mm-hmm.
Help them relax, help them write things down, first thing that comes to mind, write it down, hanggang sa maubos. Pwede mong pagurin yun yung utak nila. Pwede kang gumamit ng mga techniques like pattern interrupts so that nabe-break yung processing, yung flow ng utak. There are like techniques in conversational hypnosis which we call mind-bending language that breaks patterns of thought ng mabilis. Ang daming ways eh. Pero ang nakita kong mabilis na way, yung sinabi ni Luigi kanina, work with what they don't like. Mabilis yun. Kung hindi nila mahanap yung what they like, what they don't like, madali lang din yun. Kasi
Alam
most
na
of the
nila
time,
yun.
we get to focus on negativity eh. So, it's easy for people to find what they don't like. Yeah, di ba? So, yun. Tapos, siguro, I'll just answer din kanina may question about anxiety, depression, Luigi.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Um,
there was.
What can they
siguro,
do?
tingnan lang natin if specific naman yung question about NLP.
Oh,
With using NLP, what we could do first is, of course, i-map muna natin what leads to this feeling. Okay? I don't want we don't me and Luigi and other friends in the industry, we don't want to use the word triggers. Eh.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to use the word triggers. As much as possible, we like just get to understand what's the anchor to it. So what's leading to that feeling.
hmm,
Okay? So as we get to understand more and go deeper, we could find a way to actually work with a core issue.
yes.
Kasi minsan once we get to find the problem, there's a deeper problem connected to it and there's a more deeper problem connected to it. And what happens if we get to solve the core problem? Most of the time, it will affect the main problem na to the point na maayos na lang siya. Right. So generally, that's why we map first. We get
Mm-hmm.
the meanings connected to it so that we can reprogram their behavior and how they see the problem. Yeah, yun lang.
Ayun. So, again, guys, yun. I think we still have a few more questions, Chris, or
Actually, that was it. And
okay. So,
actually,
can
yeah.
papalag ako
So we're just
Madam.
mag-plug ka. Okay. So no problem. So go ahead.
So, yeah. So, para before we end, then we can continue. Again, guys, if you're watching this live, kindly comment team live. If you're watching this team replay, comment team replay because let me share my screen again. Okay, wait lang. I think this is... Yeah, shit. Okay, let me check. Visible na ba yung screen ko? Okay na, visible na yung screen. Ay,
Yes, it is.
yung slide. Okay. So,
Yes.
the reason why you need to comment team live or team replay is because most likely sometime in March or April, you could continue all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I prepared this, I was thinking it was fit for an hour, pero parang 3 to 4 hours yata itong nagawa kong tawag dito. Tawag dito yung nagawa kong initial outcome. Guys, this is just scratching the surface of what NLP is. Hindi pa to nagda-dive in deep dun sa mga techniques niya. Kasi kaya akala ko, Chris, pang isang oras lang to. Pala,
Actually,
gulat
maganda
ako.
yan. So we can suspend that so that they
Yeah,
can have,
so,
yeah,
kaya
so
kailangan
that
yung
they,
i-comment team live and team replay para ma-update namin kayo kung kailan.
oo.
Okay?
And then let's see yung realizations nila. Okay.
Oo. Pwede tayo magkaroon ng
Importante.
feedback session lang eh. Just for those who
Oo.
attended. Ano lang, close
Oo.
Zoom. Parang
Oo.
kamustahan lang. How did modeling help you? How did mirroring and matching help you? Diba? So, itong mga
Yes.
testimony to, may share natin sa iba.
So, guys, those who are watching now, you can actually say team replay, team live,
Hmm.
okay? So that we will get all your names, okay? And we can actually try to organize that private webinar, okay?
Hmm.
About your feedback and realizations, okay? Kasi baka it's too personal, they don't want to
Yeah,
share it
oh, para
here.
mai-clarify lang natin. Tapos doon lang siya sa circle, doon mga tao talaga na nag-participate. So, siguro na maging comfortable na sila doon. So, ayun
Oo.
lang, just to help you guys better, para mas ma-fine-tune yung mga ita-try out. So, again, ayun.
So
Go ahead.
this actually is a good meditation and reflection for a Sunday, okay? So
Oo nga, nasakto.
And it's actually the end of February. Okay, so it's the 28th of February. Tomorrow is March 1. Okay,
Oo, it's a
so
good start. Oo nga, no?
uh,
Okay, dahil dyan guys, meron akong payo sa inyo. Okay, so for you to close the month strong is it's very important that tonight, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, is you unload through writing. Sobrang fan ako ng writing. Meron din ako mga journaling classes, pero tsaka na natin. And nung narinig kaya kanya, Chris, nung narinig ko kanina nung may binibigay kang tip, tapos you're advising them to write it down. Sobrang natuwa ako dun. Kasi I'm really a fan of journaling and using it in thought and mind management. So, kaya yun, mamayang gabi guys, 30 minutes to an hour, i-dump nyo na yung February nyo doon. And then use that information to craft your March.
actually, Luigi, okay, for the next FP Live of HR Shouts, okay, I just tell everyone kasi last night it was a serious HR topic, which is salary adjustment, okay? But okay, in line with this program and then our advocacy, mental health advocacy. So we have you to speak today, and then to follow through, just to keep them, have some basic on vision boarding and journaling. So we have invited the CEO of Dream Book Project. So she will be the guest this coming Saturday in HR Shouts FP Live, okay? And it's yung mga pinapamigay natin na mga planners, okay? So that's by Dream Book Project.
He's a friend. Marian?
Marian, yeah.
Yeah, my friend.
Yeah, okay. So she will be
Yeah.
the guest, okay?
She know me. She know
Okay.
me very well. So, uh,
Yeah. So we have been actually distributing the planners that they produce, okay, as a giveaway, okay,
wow.
in past FB lives, okay. So yon. So she will be talking about, okay. So Marian, the CEO of Dreambook Project, she will be
Kailan to?
talking about
May
sa
date na ba?
Saturday, next
Ay,
Saturday, 6:30 p.m. this coming Saturday, March 6.
siguro mag-audience na lang ako doon baka mamaya. Tanungin ko muna siya mamaya, gusto mo ba nandun ako? O gusto mo audience lang?
Ba, tubaho mo
Baka
siya.
tanong natin siya kung ano mas prefer niya. Baka mamaya mailang siya. so, so ayan, pero going back guys, ayun, thank you for this opportunity to allow na makatulong tayo sa mga tao, sa mga part ng community to, again guys, this is an advocacy of ours to help you have better mental health and also syempre be of better help to other people then. That's why we are doing this. So if you wanna get in touch with me, actually I will post later, Chris, a poster wherein they could key in their emails. Okay, doon sa mga ibang gusto mag-PM lang, PM nyo lang ako. For those who are comfortable, right, comment it there. But if you want a copy of this PowerPoint presentation I have, I'll give it to you. Okay, nakalimutan ko i-mention kanina na wag din nang kopyahin, wag din nang i-screenshot para mag-focus lang kayo sa akin. So, sorry for that, pero I'll give you this. Okay, so I'll give you my presentation kung makakatulong siya sa inyo as you review it, na kayo want ng replay, tas ganyan. And kailangan nyo lang mag-comment doon sa poster na i-create ko or PM nyo ako. I'll give you the PDF. Next is, so makikita nyo dyan, Luigi Mañoza Coaching and Hypnotherapy. That's a page of mine. I'm also graphic designer by hobby. Okay, everything that you've seen in the slide, I created this within a few hours. So, yun, hobby ko lang yan. And then also, dyan ko pinapractice. There's a certain way of placement color. Ginagamit ko dyan yung NLP and hypnosis concepts. So, pag gumawa ko ng graphics, hindi lang yan dapat maganda. It should, the message, the clarity, yung font size, yung font na gagamitin, kasama lahat yun. So, pinapractice ko dyan yung NLP and hypnosis na through the visuals, kahit yan pa lang, kahit di ako magsalita, magigets mo, maganda yung flow, naiintindihan mo, balance. Okay, so yan. And then, NLP Hypnosis Academy, for those who haven't heard, this is a platform for learning, getting certified, and finding mentors that's related to NLP, hypnosis, personality development, and mental health. And now, as per Coach PBG, this is my new attempt using live media to tackle yung youth, especially, and people who watches a lot of live. And especially ngayon, ang daming live, lahat sila nanonood ng mga live, and ang daming senseless na live. Uubos na 3 oras, 4 na oras, wala namang natutunan. So sabi ko, why not create something for this market? And dito ko gagawin yung free training, free coaching, free therapy. Pag nag-official start na siya, this would be every single day for about 3 hours a day. So this is my after work. I'm having fun and at the same time helping people. So I think this is mga bagong projects. So again, just send me your emails and I'll have a surprise for you there. If you want to experience one-on-one coaching with me, it won't be my regular rate. Okay, it will be any amount you want for the first session. Okay, so bibigyan ko kayo ng voucher for that, and all of that will be donated doon sa funding ni Coach BBG. That's yung nag-advocate for free training, coaching, and therapy. So yun lang. Okay, first session lang, hindi na. Okay, first lang.
First session.
Okay, so eto na yung plug. Okay, this is something for you. Na-mention na rin to kanya ni Ken kasi parang may nagtanong yata about this, how to get professionally trained for becoming an NLP practitioner. And Ken has mentioned that this is under NLP Society. Hindi ko na i-stress that this is yung, if not, ito na yung pinaka-top na certifying body. And now it's here in the Philippines for the very first time. Kami, yung group namin, we've been marketing international certifications for over 2 years na. And this would be the first time that we'd be handling or organizing for the Society of NLP. So this will be 16 sessions in the whole month of March starting on Tuesday. Ito yung schedule niya, just for you to have a background. Doon naman sa event page nito, makikita nyo rin siya and i-email ko rin siya sa inyo if you want more details with this. Now, yung rate niya is, hindi natin i-apply yung late registration. Ngayon, it's in cash, 60,000. In credit, it's 75. Okay, so pag tinanong, Coach, medyo mataas. You can ask me, I'm not sure if I could publicize it, basta more than double yung regular rate niyan. Etong rate na to, pang Pinoy na to. Okay, we asked na this for the Philippine market. So, and ang good news ko sa inyo, dahil you're part of HR Shouts and Whispers, will give you a community discount na wala na rin tong end date. Okay, 50,000 if cash, and then if on credit, 60,000 siya. Okay, pag naka-credit card. And ito yung mga ways of payment nyo. Pwede kayo mag-pay naman through credit card. You can contact with us kasi alam namin, 2 araw na lang yata to. Di ba? Flexible naman kami. Okay, wag lang masyadong matagal. So, but we are in a way flexible naman to help you kung gusto niyo talaga mag-enroll. Pwede naman. And you can coordinate with either me, Ken, Jonica. You can message the page NLP Hypnosis Academy. You can also message the page Advanced Sales Institute, okay, that Jonica founded, and they are also part of the organizing team. So kung meron kayong questions regarding that, message nyo lang ako. I can even call you. Add nyo ako sa Facebook ngayon. And I'll just take this time na rin, Chris, bago kay Pasasay, to thank everybody who joined us, made this moment more memorable for everybody, nag-contribute ng mga questions, ng mga insights nila, that has allowed us to also understand where you're coming from. So thank you very much for making this moment better. Kay Ken, who's even celebrating something special, still here with us to give us insights. So, ayun lang guys, kung meron kayong tanong, message us and we'll help you. Yung part 2 natin, tsaka yung focus group discussion natin, we will schedule that. I'll just work with Chris regarding those dates. So, yun na for me. Ken, any message for them before
Yes, Ken.
we pass it on to Chris to close it?
So, Ken?
And then,
Yo.
ayan.
Ayan yun. Very, very short lang. NLP, very, very helpful yan. Lalo na if you're like aspiring to work with a lot of people as a coach, as a trainer, as a public speaker, do let us know. It has personally helped me with a lot of things for sales, for daily communication, and for therapy. So
Okay.
yeah.
Di ba yung mga enroll sa atin noon comes in from medical field, mga lawyers, CEOs, managers, military field. So guys, hindi lang to talaga pang HR or mga gusto maging coach. This is for anybody who uses communication and who communicates with people, which is most likely all of us kahit ano pang ginagawa natin. So yun, Ken, go ahead. Naalala ko lang.
Okay.
Yeah. So, ayun lang. If you're interested to become an NLP practitioner, message lang din kayo kaagad kay Luigi, and so that he or we can personally assist you with this. So, yun lang. Yeah. Awesome session, man.
Thank you.
Okay. So, yes, actually, Luigi, that was like a good session, okay? And then a lot of people, a lot of the mysteries behind NLP, okay? Suddenly, okay, you were able to clarify it, okay, and unveil it, okay? And also, okay, so just like to take advantage of just for some information, you know that HR Shouts, okay, we are actually okay for all the professionals. So there's
Yes.
an HR component, and then of course Luigi, Ken, and Jonica. Okay, they're part also of the moderating and admin team of HR Shouts and Whispers. So actually, if you have questions about mental health, okay,
Yes. Yeah.
you can also post them, okay, but
Yes.
if you really prefer it to be personally dealt with, okay, and more
Message the
private,
page.
okay, message a page, or you can message Luigi or Ken or Jonica. Okay, so there. And also, just as a to announce to you, okay, so for next Saturday, March 6th, okay, so we have Marian Clarissa Medina, okay, and then she will be our guest, okay, and we will be talking about vision boarding and
Ganda yan.
journaling. Oo. Kasi if you have like, kasi Luigi has been talking about mind dumping, okay? You have certain thoughts, okay? So she will talk more about that. So HR Shouts FB Live will see you this coming Saturday at 6:30 p.m. So anyway, it's a Sunday, okay? So I like I
Ah,
said, okay, we can enjoy, okay, a quiet afternoon after this, okay? So Luigi Ken, okay, until then I'll see you, and to our viewers, okay, just
yes.
comment so that we can arrange that private session with Luigi.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks, Chris. Bye.